Hello, welcome back to the channel. I'm here to review the November 1996 The Wrestler magazine. The cover of Brian Pillman, Too Crazy for WCW, Too Extreme for ECW, Too Much for Shawn, Brian Pillman, the next WWF champion. That's on the cover, so let's look into the magazine. Of course, the table of contents. Your letters, all the letters that the fans write to the magazines. What's happening. This is talking about, when Hogan, this is Jimmy Hart's reaction to Hogan turning on and joining the NWO. And Jimmy was talking about, even though he didn't like Hulk Hogan, he was still disappointed. Even though Jimmy Hart was a bad guy, he was still disappointed that Hulk Hogan joined the NWO. So, yeah, how everybody was against Hogan except for the NWO. It was NWO and Hogan versus the world. No holds barred. This guy talks about Stephen Michael joining the Four Horsemen and how he liked it. I mean, I like Stephen Michael, but he was not a good wrestler. I mean, he was entertaining. I say that, but wasn't the best wrestler. Blindsided. This article talks about Vader and how he was not doing well in the WWF. You know how we all thought this man was going to be like when he came to the WWF. We thought he was going to be this big star, and but on here they're saying that the reason why he's not doing good was because he got rid of Hardy Race, and he was saying maybe Vader should call up Hardy Race to bring him back. But yeah, Vader, he was this the Vader in the Vader in WWF was not the same Vader that was in WCW. Thumbs up and thumbs down. Okay, thumbs up for Steve Austin. Although many people will correctly point out the Stone Cold Steve Austin's King of the Ring victory had a lot to do with Big Van Vader's attack of Jake Roberts in the semifinals. The fact is that Austin played no part in the attack and wrestled a fair final match with Roberts. The victory by the former WCW US champion was a major step forward and a clear sign that he's a force to be reckoned with in the WWF. Overlook the ungracious post-match comments about Roberts, and you will see a man who has his sights set squarely on the WWF World Title. That will only make the Federation more interesting, and that is true. Yeah, because that match did kind of set the stage for the era of Stone Cold Steve Austin. It was kind of sparked that night at the King of the Ring. So let's see. Joe, you don't see too much from George South in these magazines. So thumbs down for George South. Thumbs down to George South. Will he ever get over his PWF feud with the Italian Stallion? Gorgeous George has had a very difficult time beating Stallion in fair matches over the last few years. So what does he do? He keeps hiring more and more people to help him. His latest assistant, none other than the scary woman wrestler Mad Maxine. Her interference in the June 29th South Stallion match allowed South to pin his longtime rival and win the PWF Eastern States belt. South might well be able to beat Stallion cleanly if he really tried, but unfortunately, he doesn't even seem interested in that. So yeah, that's the I never saw the PWF because it was like the promotion of the talent enhancement guys, and they were both Italian Stallion and George South were really good, but they were just used as talent enhancement guys, so we never really got to see how good they were. I mean, I guess you did if you saw PWF, but I didn't see that. Correspondence reports, people just talking about the matches they watched. You Asked Us, where it's a fan gets to ask the wrestler a question and they answer it. Introducing the Cheetah Master. I heard it, once again, I saw him in the magazines, like saw pictures of him and stuff, but I never really saw him wrestle or anything. I'm gonna have to go on YouTube and look for this guy, see if he was any good. An interview for John Tenta. You know, he's a man, he's not a fish. So he talks about that and how he's got away from the Dungeon of Doom when he's trying to fight. He's trying to go against the Dungeon of Doom. And he changed. He went back to his name because he's a man. He is not a fish. X-Ray. The wrestler panel examines Chris Benoit. So, like I said, back in the day, dude was my favorite wrestler. So it's just crazy what the finally happened to him at the end. But that guy he was my favorite wrestler. Just hands down, like my top guy. Spotlight on Steve Austin. Showing all us, talking about his highlights of his matches through the years. Looking back at Hulk Hogan versus Mighty Igor, and they're just talking about how Hulk Hogan, he had been a heel when he started, because everybody's talking about him joining the NWO now, but they're just looking back at that when he first started out, he was a bad guy. The giant secret that will doom Sting, and this is just saying that how Sting had a secret on how to beat the giant, but he wouldn't tell anybody else, wouldn't tell any other WCW wrestlers, and they were all going to get mad at him because of that. So, yeah, Giant was a big deal when he first came in, like probably having the greatest rookie year ever. I mean, besides Goldberg, but of course, this article about Brian Pillman. Yeah, it's a shame he got hurt, man. It's everything could have been so much different if he didn't get in that car wreck. And, we could have saw him versus Shawn Michaels. Would have been great to see. Would have been a really great match, probably. Lost in the Shuffle, the story WCW has been waiting years for. And this article basically just talks about how WCW's finally got enough wrestlers. They've finally got a big enough stable where there's wrestlers that can be lost in the shuffle, which was something that the WWE has been doing for years. So I guess enough wrestlers have wanted to. WCW was big enough where they could get enough wrestlers, where they're a big enough company where they can get enough wrestlers where they can get lost in the shuffle. So. A tribute to Ray Stevens by Nick Bockwinkel. So Bockwinkel just writes an article to Ray Stevens, who had passed away. A tribute to Dick Murdoch by Dusty Rhodes. And of course, this is an article written by Dusty Rhodes, giving a tribute to Dick Murdoch, who just passed away. Body Donna forecast: cloudy, good chance of rain. And I thought this was just horrible. The whole skip and zip, which in itself was horrible. But then they put him with some guy in a dress called Cloudy But good thing that that did not last long. I don't know how long that was, but it was not long enough. I mean, it was too long as it is. So yeah, I don't, like it was barely on TV for a little bit, but that was a horrible idea. Cloudy. So just a continuation from your letters. And this month in Pro Wrestling Illustrated magazine, it's a match that will probably never take place. A war to end all wars. Shawn Michaels versus the Giant. Who would win and how? We posed that question to both men, and both told us how they'd beat the other. Bret Hart might never return to wrestling, and he has no respect for Shawn Michaels. Those are just two of the revelations to come out of the very candid press conference we held with the Hitman and Wrestle America. This means war. The essential, what the men formerly known as Razor Ramon and Diesel said when they stormed into WCW this spring and tried to take over. It's also what a few WCW mainstays said in response. Everybody get ready because this could be the hottest feud of the year. And speaking of wars and feuds, you won't believe what happened in the WWF WCW Battle Royal featuring the Issues Dream match. Our special magazine within a magazine features wrestling's championship trivia challenge. Test your knowledge in 11 categories. Okay, I never got a Wrestling America magazine. I'm gonna have to look for those on eBay. And just stuff, what's happening, talking about Rey Mysterio winning the Cruiserweight title from Dean Malenko. No holds barred. You know, the guy talking about his love for Steve McMichael. Correspondence reports, you know. Continuation of You Asked Us. A Wrestler Classic talks about this is an old school article, and it's Roddy Piper faces reality. He's through. His body just can't take it anymore. This was like from '91. The ratings, top 10 ratings. Number 1, the WWF champion Shawn Michaels. Number 2, the WCW champion The Giant. Number 3, Vader. Number 4, the US champ Ric Flair. Number 5, the Intercontinental champion Ahmed Johnson. Number 6, Sting. Number 7, Steve Austin. Number 8, the WCW TV champion Lex Luger. Number 9, The Undertaker. Number 10, the USWA heavyweight champion Jeff Jarrett. Tag teams. Number 1, Skip and Zip. Number 2, the WCW Tag Team Champions Harlem Heat. Number 3, the WWF Tag Team Champions, the Smoking Guns. Number 4, the Nasty Boys. Number 5, the Steiners. Number 6, the ECW Tag Team Champions, the Eliminators. Number 7, Henry and Phineas Godwin. Number 8, the USWA Tag Team Champions, Brickhouse Brown and Reggie B. Fine. Number 9, Public Enemy. And number 10, the Gangsters. Okay, and the ratings analysis. Okay, this has been the review of The Wrestler, November 1996. I'd like to thank you for watching and hopefully enjoying, and I will see you again next time.